So this little episode now is about bullying. But I'm not talking about bullying between colleagues, let's say peer-to-peer bullying, we might call it. I'm talking about bullying from a boss to the subordinate, because that, unfortunately, happens more often than not. And it happens for a variety of reasons, and I don't want to name those reasons, but in most cases it's actually a result of the own insecurity of the boss. Because a boss that is secure of his role and that knows that he's doing a good job, that has a good relation with his collaborators, doesn't have to be bullying anybody, because they will anyway respect the boss and it will be a very nice relationship. But what if the boss actually bullies you? How can you handle that? The problem that you have is that your boss can decide about your future career. He can just put you out of the business. If you say something that the boss doesn't like, bad luck for you. You'll be out sooner than later. I had a colleague once that was very close to the majority owner of the company I was working with. At one point in time, he was the head of the R&D area. I was a young engineer, or not so young anymore, and I had opinions. And sometimes I challenged his opinions. And then he said, okay, if you continue like that, I'm going to make sure that you will leave the company rather sooner than later. And I said, okay, sir, note taken, but I'm not afraid. Later on, many years later, he was the one that left first, or that had to leave first and not me. During this phase of being acquired that I talked about, the acquirer at one point in time thought, well, it might actually be good if we had an Austrian that is in our worldwide group and put him in charge of these guys in Vienna. So there came this Tyrolean top manager that had earned a lot of credits internationally and tried to run our company. Problem was that he was a true bully, and the way he exercised his power was that A, I know it all, B, if I don't know it all, my colleagues in the corporate headquarters know it all, C, you have to do what we say. That was a situation that was starting to be all the time more disagreeable. Then came the moment where we had a confrontation. This guy was another member of the management board and myself in a meeting. And in that meeting, he practically called me an idiot. I didn't know what I was saying. 3 people around the table. I got up and said to him, if you call me an idiot one more, guys, I'm going to go out here, but I'm never going to set foot again into this camp. He caved in, and the other 4 were slain. I thought a lot about this. My reaction was not reflected, not at all. But I came to a conclusion. These people that try to exercise power by bullying others, number one, they usually only hide their own insecurity. Number 2, if you confront them openly and directly, they are afraid and they are killing back. And I've observed this quite a number of times. I could have told a similar story with one of my big clients here in Portugal. We were negotiating, that was a fairly big contract, for something like 80-90 million euros contract. For Portugal, sizable. We were called for a meeting, and in that meeting we were 7 people from their side, 3 from our side, or 4. Highest ranking person there said, okay, now you guys negotiate these 3 or 4 points, and when you're done, you call me. And he was kind of packing up, like making moves to get out. And I answered, okay, if you're now leaving, I'm leaving as well, packing my things, who was going. There are certain things that people don't expect from you. When you are a supplier trying to negotiate for a contract, they expect that we say yes basically to everything. And they sometimes try to abuse that role. You don't let them abuse it. You maintain your dignity and you will get the contract.